This is Lesson 7, using mail merge to create letters, envelopes, and labels, on page 155.
In this lesson, you will use mail merge to create letters, envelopes, and labels. You will perform a mail merge, and you will merge envelope and label data. You have seen techniques for standardizing the look and feel of your documents, using quick parts and templates to reduce your workload when creating documents, managing the flow of text, and managing long documents. Microsoft Word includes another useful feature that enables you to automate the creation of documents, such as letters, for a number of recipients. If you have a list of the names, addresses, or other information that needs to go into each separate document, you can use the Mail Merge feature to customize the documents, which is what you will do in this lesson. So topic A is the Mail Merge feature. If you have a letter you want to send to every customer of your organization and you want to personalize it with each customer's name and address, you can use the Mail Merge feature. Rather than manually entering the name and address on each document, you can merge that data into your document, which greatly reduces the time you need to prepare the letters. In this topic, you will perform a simple mail merge in a document. A mail merge is a process by which a list of data is inserted into a document to create multiple individualized documents. A main document contains the static information that will be in all of the documents. It also contains fields into which the variable data will be inserted. The data source is a list, a database, a spreadsheet, any type of structured data that is inserted into the main document during a mail merge. Examples of customized documents you can create include letters, envelopes, labels, and phone and address books. So again, mail merge, you're taking a document such as the one I have open here. You can see I have a letter from Building with Heart. And instead of individually typing up a document for each individual recipient, I have my starting document. So these are the two things you need for a mail merge: a starting document, and also I have a recipient list. So starting document, recipient list are needed for a mail merge. Whether that's starting documents, labels, whether it's envelopes, if it's a letter, whatever it is, a starting document, and then a list of the people that you're going to be sending that document to. So while I have this open, you can see the columns I have included here in my recipient list. We have first name, last name, the address, city, state, zip code, and I also have a product that they supplied to Building with Heart. So that's what this is for. And this will be included in the document as well. So we have 5 recipients, so we should have 5 individualized letters when we finish. And these columns, what they're going to be known as when we complete a mail merge, these are going to be fields. So fields are just the columns from the Excel spreadsheet. All right, I'm going to close this out because I will be uploading it, so I need it closed out. Now, taking a look at our starting document, you can see we have a placeholder to insert the inside address here. So this is going to be the recipient's full address. We have a placeholder to insert the greeting here. So dear Naomi, whoever our recipient is, remember they're going to be individualized. And then in the body of our letter, it says, thank you for supplying our store with insert product name here. So that's that last column from our Excel spreadsheet that is going to be listed here, depending on who it's addressed to. So again, instead of typing up and manually customizing the letters for each person, we can merge our starting document with our recipient list, and it will give us, in this instance, 5 finished products, all addressed and customized to that person. So I'll go through the steps of how to complete a mail merge. First, we start by going up to the Mailings tab on our ribbon, and in the Start Mail Merge command group, we're going to select the drop down for Start Mail Merge. And the great thing about a mail merge, they have a step-by-step mail merge wizard that we're going to be using, and it literally walks you through step by step on what exactly to do in order. So the mail merge task pane opens up on the right side of your window, and it starts by telling you to select your document type. What type of document are you working on? So you have the option of letter, email message, envelopes, labels, directory. So we have letters chosen. Send letters to a group of people. You can personalize the letters that each person receives. Click Next to continue. So yes, we're starting with a letter, and you can see this is step 1 of 6, and we can click the next link to move to the next step, our starting document. Then select Starting Document. How do you want to set up your letters? You can use the current document that you have on screen. You can start from a template, or you can start from an existing document that you can open up. So we already have ours on screen, so we're going to choose Use the Current Document. Start from the document shown here and use the Mail Merge wizard to add recipient information. So we can click Next, select Recipients. For selecting recipients, we can use an existing list that we have saved on our computer. We can select from our Outlook contacts, or we can manually type up a new list. So your easiest bet is to type it up in Excel so you have it, because if you're doing a mail merge for a document such as a letter, chances are you're going to want to send them out hard copies. So you might want to use that same recipient list to do a mail merge for the envelopes as well, possibly the labels. So instead of typing them out multiple times, save it into the Excel spreadsheet, and then you can have it for, the multiple uses that you need. Or in the future, you might need it as well. So we're going to use an existing list that we have saved, and now you have to choose what that existing list is, what the document is. So we're going to browse, and this is saved in my home drive, Word Part 2 folder, using Mail Merge, and here I have Chapter 7 recipient list. So that's that Excel workbook that I just showed you. Click Open. And on this next page, on this next window, it's going to tell you to select the table. If you have multiple worksheets open or multiple worksheets on that one Excel file, then you have to choose which worksheet your recipient list is located on. So obviously this shows that we only have one worksheet, so that's what we want to choose, sheet 1. And at the bottom, you want to indicate if the first row of data contains your headers. So obviously ours did. We had last name, first name, street, city, state, zip, and we also had product. So make sure that's checked off and click OK. And then, let me make this window bigger. On the next window, Mail Merge Recipients, it will list all of your fields, what I just mentioned there, up to product, and it will list each row of your recipients. So here, if you're not trying to create a document for every single person in your recipient list, maybe I didn't want Naomi Lee, I could uncheck her. Okay, so you're going to pick and choose which recipients you want to create the documents for. We're going to be creating one for all 5. So I'm just going to click OK from here. And now in your mail merge task pane, it comes up. Currently, your recipients are selected from sheet 1, which is the worksheet name, in Chapter 7 recipient list.xlsx. So that's the actual file name and the worksheet. So now we can move to the next step in our mail merge, which is to write your letter. So if you have not already done so, write your letter now, and to add recipient information to your letter, click a location in the document and then click one of the items below. So you have options of address block, greeting line, those are the main ones you use here, electronic postage, and more items. So this is where we want to input all of our different fields here. So here we have insert inside address. So what I need to do is I need to select this placeholder. And in its spot, I'm going to insert the address block. And I can do that just by clicking this link in my task pane. And it's going to open up a dialog box. Here you can specify the address elements, how you want the name to be typed up. Maybe you just want their first name. Obviously, for address block, you want to keep their full name. And you want to preview what the address is going to look like. So, Naomi Lee, 1243 Gaylord Road, Green, Richland, 99999. And you can scroll through to double check everybody's address. Now, sometimes, depending on how you have the recipient list set up, the different fields don't match up with the address block. You'll see this in your activity, and this is because the column header is not labeled how Word exactly wants it. So in our recipient list in our activity coming up, in the Microsoft Excel worksheet, the address column is actually labeled as street. So Word doesn't recognize that as the actual address because it's a different label. And when that happens, you want to go to your Match Fields button and make sure that everything is matched up correctly. So this is the field name that Word is looking for, and these are the different fields that are available from the Excel workbook. So you can see first name did match up, last name matched up, address 1 matched up with the address column. You'll see when you get into the activity, you're going to have to choose street from here to match these up. City, state, postal code. Okay? Now, obviously, product name did not match up with anything because that's not part of an address block in here. So we are going to have to manually enter that. So everything matched up for this particular instance of our recipient address block. So we can click OK from here. And you can see it inserts the field code for address block. It's not going to actually show the address because it's for, everybody. It's just a generic field code here. So we can actually delete the placeholder text here now. We don't need that any longer. And now we want to do the same thing for the greeting. We're going to select the text, insert greeting line, and here you can choose how you want the greeting line to be formatted. You have the option of dear or to, and then how you want their name to be shown. Mr. and then last name, Mr. and Mrs. last name. You can do just the first name. So we'll do dear, and we'll have the first name. Joshua is just an example. That's nobody in my actual recipient list. And we'll do, you have the option of a comma, a colon, or nothing. We'll do a colon, and you can see you can preview your recipients along the bottom here. I'll click OK from here. You get the greeting line field codes, and I can go ahead and delete that placeholder text that I had in here. So I have address block, greeting line. Now I need, in the first line of my text, insert product name here. I'm going to select all of that. Now you can see that product name does not come up in my Mail Merge task pane. Up on my Mailings tab in my Write and Insert Fields command group, here I have the option to insert merge field, and I can insert each individual field from here as well. So I can just overwrite that insert product name here with product. Whoops, I must have undid. Let's try that again. Click there, insert merge field, and product. There we go. So when it's addressed to, whoever, Lori, it's going to say her address block, Dear Lori, thank you for supplying our store with whatever her product was on that Excel sheet. All right, now we can move to the next step in our mail merge, and that's to preview our letters. So you can see Naomi Lee comes up, her address block is shown, Dear Naomi, thank you for supplying our store with Palmolive dish detergent. We can actually preview the letters by clicking through with these arrows in our Mail Merge task pane. Make sure everybody's information is shown correctly. At this point, if there's any, Punctuation mistakes. After you've inserted your merge fields, you can go ahead and correct them from here, and it will affect every individualized letter. Once you see that everything looks good for you, then you want to move to the last step, which is complete the merge. And from here, you want to select Edit Individual Letters. And you can choose to only view certain letters, 1 to 3 if you want, only the current letter that you'll have on screen, or you can choose to view all of them. So we're going to view all and click OK. And this is going to create a whole new document. This opened letters 1. You can see if I hover over Word, I have, come on, there we go. You can see I have 2 documents. One was where I was performing my mail merge. The other is my finished document, which I'm on now. So now as I scroll down, I don't have one letter. Here's Daniel Arthur. He provided Scott's paper towels. Keep scrolling. The next page is Naomi Lee, who had the dish detergent. Gary Paul, who had the bandages. Ruth, hand sanitizer. And Lori Patrick, who had the disinfectant wipes. So now I have an individual letter for each of my recipients. And then I could go in, if I don't want to print them right now, I can save that finished product. And I'll just save this Chapter 7 letters. All right, so those are the steps in performing a mail merge. Very, very good resource to have. This is probably one of my favorite lessons because I love using a mail merge. You can do it for, holiday letters, business letters, invitations, just all kinds of stuff. And in the next section, we'll see how we can do it for envelopes and labels as well. All right, so the next video coming up, you'll give this a try in the activity, and that is
Activity 7.1 on page 162.